So to stay even with it, he's got to go out now and get 400. It is an inversion from what we ran yesterday. However,
San Diego Bayfair here on the beautiful waters of Mission Bay, California. I've got one of the race teams here competing this weekend in Offshore, the number 28 boat, Pig Iron Racing out of the Lake Tahoe area. I've got owner-driver Brad Johnson and on throttles Jake Hamner. Rest of their crew competing in this class this weekend. They've got top podium finishes already in a couple of their qualifying heats. And I'm going to let Brad Johnson give us a little information about his experience here, his first time in Mission Bay. Brad?
Oh, thank you very much. Actually, we've been here every year, but it's a great event. It's one of our favorite events because we actually have an opportunity to run our boats on a short, closed course. And it's a lot of fun because it's a totally different setup than what we normally do. And we get a lot of speed out of the boats. We have a lot of tight racing where we're all real close with each other. A completely different setup where we're running in smooth water versus out in the open ocean. And it's very enjoyable. We have a lot of fans that are brought in here because of the Unlimiteds and the other classes that are here as well. So it's good for our sponsors and it's good for the sport. And we really enjoy the way that we're welcome here.
Well, and again, Brad, race fans, you're talking about some changes. What is the biggest significant change that you have to make to this boat, making the transition from offshore racing, typically where you're at, coming to this closed course here in Mission Bay?
The biggest changes we make are the weight distribution in the boat and the propellers that we run.
We're talking about smaller propellers?
They're normally smaller propellers, yes.
Okay.
So we can get acceleration out of the corners.
Well, okay, we talked about some of the mechanical changes that they have to make to the number 28 boat. But Jake, you're on throttles. Give me an idea of what you have to do to make what kind of adjustments from offshore coming into a closed course.
We set up for the turns different, being that we're turning on a closed course as opposed to running in the open waters. The swells that we're not dealing with here, we're dealing with turns instead, so that changes the setup a bit.
Okay. And because you only run a venue like this only once or twice a year, you don't get a whole lot of seat time, I take it.
That's correct. It's more out in the open waters. So.
And they had 5 qualifying heats, race fans, this weekend. Their finals coming up shortly in about an hour or so. We're going to put this interview on the web again. It's bayfair.com. We'll see you in about an hour. And I want to thank this race team. Good luck to them. They've already got podium finishes. But before I let you go, I want to introduce you to a very important person to help me this weekend, Nancy Johnson. Nancy, you got a couple of words for the race fans?
No, but I'd just like to say thank you for enjoying watching us on the water and our boats. We always enjoy the spectators coming out to see us and look forward to seeing everybody here next year.
Thanks again. We'll be back again, bayfair.com. Second interview here with one of the offshore teams. It's in the red, the number 16 boat out of Temecula, California, competing in the Super Cat Light. I've got owner throttle man here, Troy Juve, and George Cortez, Kung Fu grip driver, behind the wheel here this weekend, looking to improve. Last year they had a second place overall win, looking to take the top podium here this weekend. And George, tell me what the conditions are or have been in the first 5 qualifying heats that you've had this weekend.
You know, we've had some good heats. The water's been a little rough, kind of like bath water out there, but you know, we're catching some rooster tails off of the boats that we're chasing down, and we are catching them, and I think we're putting on a good show, and we're actually taking some checker flags.
Yeah, no, we talked to you the first time, met you last year here at Mission Bay, and we were talking about that bathwater condition. You guys do like the offshore.
Yes.
You do have a couple courses here. You have to make some adjustments. I had an interview with Brad Johnson, the Pig Iron Racing team out of Lake Tahoe. So now you've got a little bit of seat time. You're starting to enjoy yourself out here.
Most definitely. This is a great venue. We prefer a little bit larger racetrack, of course, but I think you don't get a better stadium seating than this with all the fans that are here. Just the great draw of all the different types of racing that come to this event, and it's great for us to be a part of that.
And you are a big part of this. Troy, you're the owner, and you're on throttles, and you've been very strong all weekend long, but you guys came in a little early in the final qualifying heat. What was the reason for that?
We had our problems a couple years ago with running low on fuel. We're trying to get the boat as light as possible, and I think we underestimated that last heat, so we were a little short on fuel, so we ran out, which is embarrassing. So That's all right. We'll come back. We'll be strong. We're good.
And it just tells you can have challenges with your props, your setups, but even fuel's a challenge. And again, these two guys are looking to take the top podium win here at Mission Bay this weekend. We're about ready to get the POPRA offshore boats back into the water for their final heat here Sunday afternoon. And I'm with a young racing team here, husband and wife, newlyweds, married last May 21st. The only female throttle person in this class. Sarah, tell me a little bit about your experience so far in an offshore boat.
Oh, it's a blast. I got in the boat a couple of years ago with Brian, and I've been hooked ever since. It's fun.
And that's all it takes, does it?
Oh, yeah. Now I can't get me out.
Okay, let me ask you this question, Sarah. You planning ever to switch seats here? What's it going to take?
No, I enjoy my seat. He can handle that part.
Excellent. Brian, this is the first time I've seen you out here at Mission Bay. I've been coming for the last 10 years. How do you like the conditions, and how do you like the venue?
I love it here. It's nice and flat. Works good for me for my small boat. Get out in the ocean, gets a little rougher for us, but around here it's nice and fast. Got some competition this year in my class, so got someone to race against.
And that's about the racing. It's about the competition, right?
Yeah, it makes it fun. I mean, if you're the only one out there, it's no fun, no one to race against, but you got someone else out there, you learn a lot more when you're racing against somebody.
Exactly. Race fans, stay with us. The finals coming at you. We're here in San Diego.